Now I just saw that McDonald's video that people were talking about where the dude reached over the counter because he didn't have a straw. There was no straw for him. So he reaches over, grabs the girl around the neck, and she threw a couple nice right hands and hit him. That dude didn't even get no shot off. So you picked a fight with a woman and lost, and it was caught on video. There's a lot of people saying that the guy, the other co-worker, all he did was break it up. But she didn't really need anybody's help. But there's a lot of these black women on the internet saying, black men don't have no backbone or nothing like that. I can't speak for anybody else, but what I'll say about myself is as soon as he grabbed her, instinct would have just took over. And the way he was positioned, his kidneys were exposed. I would have just punched him in the side, right underneath his rib cage, one time real hard. He would have let go of her, and then he would have probably turned to face me. And when he did that, see, he didn't know anything about fighting himself because he was in a position where he could have choked that girl, not just with his hands around her neck, not like that, because that could be broken up. But I'm talking about a choke where you choke her with her collar, with the collar of her shirt. He could have choked her with it if he really knew what he was doing. Where my BJJ cats at? Cat's been training in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu for a month? That's one of the first things you learn in that, is how to collar choke somebody. You can do it from a standing position. You can do it if you're on top of them. You can do it if they're on top of you. That's the most effective way of doing it. But like I said, that girl didn't need my help, but naturally my instincts would have just taken over, and it would have just been, I don't know, just like a seminar of some sort. Like I'd be like, okay, now I got him, he's on the ground. I got my legs wrapped around his fighter, which is his midsection, so he cannot move his body. And I'm gonna put a rear naked choke on him. That's how you do it. But the way a lot of these women behave, you don't want to support them or you don't want to help them if they're in need. You can get hurt too. I remember once being at 7-Eleven and this girl was arguing with this dude, big offensive lineman type cat. And she ended up slapping him in the face, and everybody was like, ooh. And he just looked up like, yo, I can't believe this chick just hit me, man. But he didn't hit her. But if he'd have roughed her up, pummeled her, I wasn't gonna do nothing but pay for my food and walk out the store. Because I'm not gonna put my bodily harm at risk for a woman who, first of all, enticed that man. If he had beaten her up, she enticed him because she hit him first. And like I said, dude was 300 pounds. I ain't trying to figure out chokeholds to put collar chokes on him. I ain't trying to figure none of that out. That only happens when someone big like that tries to fuck with me. But I don't know if I'll get a collar choke on somebody as big as he was. That motherfucker was huge. I wouldn't have fought him. But instincts would have took over if he'd have tried to assault me. Now, if he'd assaulted the chick, I'd have just, like I said, took my Dutch master and walked out the store. Not time for that. But yeah, and I remember another situation where I was working security at this bank, and one of the girls got her car broken into, and I ran the guy down. And I remember my boss telling me, you shouldn't have done that. And then he explained me why. Basically, if the dude had a crowbar, knocked all my teeth out, my boss didn't give me no insurance, wasn't gonna pay for me to get my teeth fixed. The girl wasn't gonna pay for me to get my teeth fixed. She probably wouldn't have come see me in the hospital all wired up, sipping food through a straw. She wouldn't have came and saw me in that condition. She would have done shit. She'd have probably been like, oh, that's his fault. I ain't telling him to go out there. Some shit like that. So, and the girl was nice looking. That's part of it too. The better looking the female is, the more likely the guy is to do some chivalry type stuff. Like, ain't no dudes gonna cape for Leslie Jones, but they will cape for Sanaa Lathan. You see the difference? Ain't nobody sticking up for Leslie Jones if she gets in some shit with a guy. No, she's not good looking enough. So, but still. And the fact that the dude was white really don't play a part. This is my natural instincts. But that's what they're trying to make it out to be. I haven't heard anybody say if it was a black guy grabbed this girl, niggas would have did something. I ain't heard that one. I just heard niggas is weak because they didn't intervene. Well, I would have intervened in that situation because it was unprovoked and she was totally not at fault. So I would have intervened no matter who the person was and look to do the same stuff that I just told you about. You try to get people with stuff they ain't expecting. Ain't nobody expecting you to go for their collar and choke them. They're not expecting that, nor do they know how to defend against it. But get up on some Brazilian jiu-jitsu shit, all my MGTOW dudes. It will give you confidence. It will have you walking around like you have armor on. Look, girls will be looking at their phone, looking down as we're, crossing each other's path. They would look up and then look back down at their phone. Before I started taking that shit, they would look down and stay looking down. Because now I'm walking with more erect posture. And it ain't something that I told myself to do. It's just working out like that. Your body just forms into a stronger version of itself. It's the best martial art to ever grace the face of the earth. Like Gracie. You don't know about Hoist Gracie. And see, the UFC used to be an event. It would come on maybe 3 times a year. Jim Brown, the former football great, would be the host along with somebody else. And Hoist Gracie won the whole shit, man. I mean, he won the whole shit, but he started the whole shit. Used to be, like I said, 3 UFCs a year. Now you're about to have UFC 1776. The shit is so watered down. It used to be set up like a bracket where you come and you fight. It's a tournament bracket, like 8 guys, and you fight one guy. Then the next round, the winner of that fight, you fight him, and then the winner again. There's 3 fights, so the ultimate fighter goes through 3 fighters in one night. That's how it used to be. Now you got weight classes, time limits, stuff to make it so it's a little bit more or a little less barbaric, because it was very barbaric. I would never get in there, ever. No. I would like to know what they know so I can have an advantage over other people walking the street. I don't want to have an advantage over anybody getting in there, because I wouldn't have an advantage over nobody getting in there. No. Wouldn't get in there, especially at 40-something years old. No. But yeah, I would have helped the girl out. Not because she was black and he was white, but more so she wasn't in the wrong and he was, and he's a male and she's a female. But she didn't need my help. That girl has some skills. She needs to give us some jiu-jitsu, because look, if you got boxing, Muay Thai, and jiu-jitsu under your belt, you've got the advantage over 80% of the people walking the earth.